What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies. I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
I have Just One.
Yo, what's happening?
I have Robert D. Toff.
Hello.
We're also recording in February, the month of love. So as a result, we have decided to honor that with a special guest, Mrs. Just One, Miss Sarah.
Hi.
Tonight's topics, I have chosen both. The first topic that we're going to talk about tonight
Somewhat brag, not you.
is packaging.
My idea.
And let's gauge the room. We know that Jisk saves the boxes to the refrigerator, so we don't need to worry about that so
it's
much.
the ceiling fans.
Robert, you don't save your boxes, correct?
Some. I save fans toys and I save MP.
What about flame toys?
Yes.
Okay, so the only boxes I save are hot toys, and I'm getting ready to annex some of those. However, I say that to say this, the packaging is still very important to me. The experience of the packaging is important to me. Robert, how do you feel about the packaging? Do you care? Because I just got these Magic Square Seekers. The box is torn to shreds. So I get the impression that you don't care too much about the packaging.
No, what I like about the packaging is just that experience, the nostalgia, because like the new age stuff comes in and it's very reminiscent of like G1 cartoon, not G1 packaging. I don't really care about it. What I care about the packaging is in terms of like, how are they sending it to me? Like flame toys, the clamshell, it's really cheap. They have like this nice thick box with a magnetic seal for the top so you can open it without having to peel tape or whatever. But then it's in the crappiest clamshell that's very brittle and tears. I don't like that. I love Fans Toys packaging because it's just in this sturdy styrofoam. And I don't like the fact that now Fans Toys is doing half styrofoam with a clamshell over it.
Is it recyclable, what Flames Toys comes in versus that big hunk of styrofoam?
It's plastic, it's plastic,
but
so I assume it's recyclable.
Think about the Fans Toys. They're literally cutting the size of their box in half just by putting the little plastic insert over the top, which I get. I mean, 'cause sometimes these boxes are like, especially as somebody that keeps them, they're too big.
Like, to me, the experience of it is what counts. And that's also why I'm able to get rid of it, because you can never have that experience twice.
Yeah.
So, like, a nice packaged thing, it matters. I don't know how else to say it. Like you can only open a new thing once. And when you open it and it feels like it's more than just something that came in the mail, it adds to it. But the one that stands out to me are the kind of early Warbitron stuff and the Generation Toy stuff. It's all the same company, but they know how to package something.
Oh, like, that tight stuff? Like you couldn't even pull it out of the box?
Well, no.
No, but just the way like the package looked, they had that art on the back. I'll tell you that Warbitron still across all their lines has the best packaging.
100%.
Like they would have a puzzle, like they would have part of an image on the back, right. And like you need the whole set to make the entire image.
You took off the slip cover. There was this box underneath. You opened up the box. There was a little velvet, fabric tab that you pulled to pull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it all adds to the experience of opening that figure for the first time, and there is a charm to that does matter. I'll put it out there. I hate Fans Toys packaging. As much as I'm supposed to be the Fans Toys guy, I hate their packaging. It always feels less to me than what it is. Where it's just a box. You pull out the styrofoam. You cut the tape, and I'm like, there it is. All right, cool.
That styrofoam's way better than a clamshell, though.
I don't know if I agree that the styrofoam is better.
They put that little STD barrier over the figure. It's nice, dude. They care about you.
To me, they're equal. I think that the foam feels the best. Even when the Toy World Constructicons came in that foam.
That was tight.
It felt nice.
I'm going to tell you right now, my top 3 in this order for packaging are Warbitron, Toy World, and then Fans Toys. Those 3 companies have the best packaging.
For Transformers, I would say Warbitron and Transformation, Generation Toy, whatever they want to call themselves. After that would be also Toy World, and then after Toy World would be Flames Toys, and it's because of that magnet and the way that the wraparound box, and it feels like you're opening something.
Don't you notice how cheap that clamshell feels? It
feels
especially.
No, I agree that, but I'm not a fan of clamshells in general. But I'm also not a fan of the styrofoam in general.
Okay, here's the thing about the Fans Toys styrofoam, right? The difference between having the double styrofoam and the styrofoam with the clamshell on top. You open up the Fans Toys box. The figure's here. You're like, oh my god, it's here. You open the box. You pull it out. It's still, you can't see it. It's totally encased. You know what I mean? And you're like, the tape. They put 4 pieces. The tape, and you're peeling it off. It's that tease. It gets in there. It's in there, and I can't see it. But the clamshell, and you open it up, finally, like, oh, and then you get the whiff of chemicals. The clamshell, it's like right there visible. You know?
But I
Dude,
do.
the Fans chemical smell is one of the greatest things. Dude.
But I do. But yeah, that's true. And McFarlane toys just have a very distinct smell too. But I do feel like that plastic over top of the Flames toys, like that you got to peel. Like you open the clamshell, it's got that protective layer, like, and you peel back that plastic. Like that's a good feeling.
That's true.
I think it's very important. I'm a very aesthetic person. Whether it's shoes or cosmetics, like the designer shoes, they come with like a shoe bag and they're wrapped really nicely. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's something to spending the money and feeling like someone took the extra care to like put it in nicely.
I remember some of the bags that you used to get. You used to have a box, and you open the box, and there was tissue paper, and underneath the tissue paper was a bag, and you open the bag, and then inside that was the bag. Like, it's the experience of opening something. After you open it, it's worthless.
No,
but
I don't agree.
But no, for me. But that experience has some inherent value to it. I feel like a lot of these companies, they don't care about that. I don't review the packaging because I don't think it's ultimately important to the product in terms of whether or not it's worth it. But as a consumer, in the experience of something new, I think it is important.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know this. I just got a really large, canvas wall art. Came in a big shipper box, and I opened the box, and
Did
it was just
say
like
fragile?
It did not say fragile. Nope, it did not even say that on the box. And I opened it up, and there was no bubble wrap. It was just like they tape strapped one piece of cardboard to the back of it, put cardboard corners on it, and the frame was cracked. I was so mad. It's like $450 plus tax. That was with a discount.
I know this is so simplistic, but I love Apple's packaging.
I do too.
Why? Because
I think that's a great example.
Easy and user friendly, and when you open it, streamlined and
Simple
amazing. Oh,
and
not an Apple
clean
fan.
and-
And the fact that it's all identical, everything opens the same way, everything looks the same. That's a branding thing that they're doing. Like it's beyond what it is. It is more. I have iPhone boxes in my little cabinet because it feels like I shouldn't throw it away.
Listen to this, Jess.
No, I should.
I totally agree with Bobby.
He's been busting your chops about ceiling fan boxes.
No,
Listen to
I
this
should.
little revelation.
No. I should get rid of them, but they don't take up much logistic space. And there is something about them where it's like, you can't get rid of this. Look at it. I think that Apple packaging is arguably one of the best examples of consistent, classy, enjoyable packaging. Let's transition a bit. What are some of the most trashy packaging experiences that we can remember? For something that shouldn't have been. I'll tell you what stands out to me. This most recent Fans Hobby experience.
Oh, the thick boy.
Yeah.
What?
Damn, boy. So they came in a brown cardboard box, like almost like a pair of Nikes. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah, the old school Nike
with
box.
a sticker on them that showed a picture of the toy that was inside.
Yeah, man, that's rough.
That's the worst I've ever seen. It didn't make me want to open
the box
it.
At least well made, because that's my problem. Like I think like DX9 and like KFC have the worst made boxes.
Well, just like shoe boxes, right? Like you have like the super flimsy ones, and then you have like the sturdy, like hardy ones.
There wasn't anything extra about the materials that were used, just to answer your question. It was just, it felt like a cardboard box with a sticker on it. Why do you think that KFC and them are the worst? What about them?
Just they fall apart. Like they barely make it to your doorstep. As soon as you open and take the figure out, you try to put it back, the glue just dissolves fast.
Yeah.
I don't like the way the cardboard feels. Like if I'm gonna be picky, the cardboard feels cheap. A milk carton is thicker cardboard than those shits.
I hate the cheap cardboard.
I don't like Iron Factory's packaging just because I feel like they're cheap and like they just put product shots. Takara, like this really expensive MP44. It's like bending around the edges, and I swear I've opened this box once. Fans Toys is harder to get rid of. It's embossed, it's glossy, there's art. It's so much more difficult to throw out. I would rather throw out Kara box than a Generation Toy box.
Well, now that you mention that, that's a good point. Like, speaking of art, you ever check out the Moss Toys packaging?
Oh, that's some beautiful packaging.
It's not bad, right? It's not bad.
Beautiful. The artwork is beautiful.
It's not bad.
You know?
It's not bad. It looks sharp.
There's worse. There's worse packaging.
It's not bad.
Fancy
It's not
wrapping
bad.
around a little bit.
How do you feel about the clamshell experience? Like, not. I don't mean the interior of a Transformers box, but like the old school, rip the clamshell off of the front of the cardboard.
Oh, like on a card, like something that's on a card.
Yes,
I hate it. it because I can't save it.
Well, when I was collecting stuff like Transformers Prime, that was all like on card. It was kind of, if you ask me, it might be better because you don't have that conflict. It's immediately garbage if you're opening it.
So it does give to me a nostalgic feeling because, you know, like the same way that I think that some of these third parties are trying to do it with like Fans Toys in particular with the styrofoam pull out. But like there is something about ripping the clamshell off of the card that does give me a nostalgic feeling that I do appreciate, for better or for worse. Usually they're trash figures inside, but I do appreciate them. While the packaging doesn't ultimately matter to me, the experience of opening the packaging does matter to me. And that plays a part in my kind of initial impressions of something and how it strikes me off the bat.
I want to see a photo of a guy that borrows a lot of shit.
I want to see an elephant trunk,
I want to see Robert in his dojo.
a turtleneck.
And a ribbon around a car. Pee Wee Herman.
Like Basil Hayden.
Oh.